Alrighty, guys, welcome back. This is going to be the fourth sign, Cancer, the crab sign. Honestly, it actually looks pretty cool. It's like a little bit aquatic. It looks like that's the moon in the center of that little image. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's whatever. A little bit of stars. But yeah, not the disease, cancer, and life threatening and all that. No, it's just the astrological sign. So let's get right into it. I know that I have a few friends that are Cancer, but let's see what this guy's got. Cancer is subtle. Well, not the great way to, you know. Anyway, Cancer is subtle and sensitive. No. Okay. Anyway, yet canny and tenacious too. As its animal symbol suggests, a hard shell protects a vulnerable interior. Negative cardinal water has a receptive nature and instinct to act on emotions. It sounds like it's just a crab, which I guess is the image of it, but it literally just sounds like they just saw a crab and described it as that, just because of how I guess it looks like. For me, most cancers that I actually know are not that sensitive. They mostly have a dark sense of humor, and with that, they don't care about, at least the people that I know, what people really say about themselves, but they will defend others. When it says negative cardinal water and reception, yeah, they don't. Well, from my experience, not too many cancers act on their emotions, like at all. Most of them are too logical. They're like, well, if I do this, then I won't be able to do this, or I'll be able to do this, and that lets me to do something else, and yada yada yada. They're thinkers. At least most people that I know that are born around July-ish. Not all of them. Everybody has their own, characteristics. It's simple. It's just like I don't know, 69. Well, sideways. Anyway, negative polarity, cardinal mode, element water, which is mine. Ruling planet is the moon, because so that was the moon. Parts of the body, the breasts and the stomach. So basically more towards the torso area. The sun in Cancer. Your life purpose, this is our life purpose. Let's see what we got. Is to find your tribe and to develop a central role as a caregiver within it. Your life revolving around some form of family, whether personal or professional. Okay, that's good. I can see that. I can see that for a lot of them. But as for this character, yeah, okay. So, very, very caregiver, not necessarily protector, but definitely like a caregiver for this. To find that, and honestly, I think a lot of people are trying to find that in life. Your planets in Cancer. Planets here will show a self-protective quality, acting according to moods and feelings. Intuition and emotion are the ruling forces. Well, all right. I don't know how to say. I don't know how I feel about that one. I can do it from my experience or from when I'm reading. From my experience, I just gotta say no. From reading, it sounds like this entity, this creature, I guess this crab, or the creature we're trying to create, is basically acting on their own, but I want to say trying to control feelings. Yeah, acting according to moods and feelings. I guess they're just trying to find out who they are. Cancer on the cusps of a house. This area of your life may form a sanctuary, a place of safety away from the world. You seek to protect and defend matters of that house. So whatever house you kind of fit into at the moment, you do anything to, from what I understand, just be a part of that house. So like if you want some peace and quiet, he'll shut off the doors, he'll shut off the outside world, or you would go out, tell somebody, hey, chill the fuck out. Let me like rest or something. Which it really depends, I guess. It's very, very vague. Sign of the mother. Cancerians have a desire to nurture, but might find it difficult to let go. Well, that's not true whatsoever with any Cancer I know. Anyway, close bonds. Cancerians, the emotions they invest in people, places, and possessions can make separation from them painful. I feel like that's just anybody too. Like if you get attached to somebody or something, it's just really hard to let things go. Like you become a hoarder in that case when it comes to items, when it comes to things. But sometimes they do hold memories. Home and family. Cancerians like to feel that they're in familiar territory, accorded by clan, family, and home. Ooh, anchored, not accorded. Anchored by clan, family, and home. Again, that's most people. From this, still no, at least from the Cancerians that I know. None of this is actually accurate for them, at least. Huh. But I guess they're supposed to be like emotional and attached creatures. All right, need for security. It is crucial for Cancerians to feel safe. Planets in this sign adopt a low risk strategy. Again, I'm trying to find something that connects, at least from the people that I know, to this, and so far I can't find anything. But this person, this creation that we're trying to make, I think I would like get like along with them. They're like, they really do care about what's in their inner circle. Tenacity. When really intent on their goal, a Cancerian won't give up. See, I feel like this person's set out for determination. Withdrawal under pressure. Cancerians act on instinct, withdrawing into their shell if they sense danger. Once again, I don't know about that one. Most of the Cancerians I know would talk back, fight. They would get out of their comfort zone. Powerful intuition. People born under this sign easily pick up atmosphere and feelings. I got some that people that do. I got a few friends. They would basically like try to, I want to say, use their extrovert mindset and like talk to people and stuff. And then there's others that just like shut down. Sideways strategy. Being cardinal, Cancerians can be assertive but rarely go straight for the target. No. They go straight for that target. Feelings are paramount. The Cancerian stance is subjective based around personal emotions. Okay. I can somewhat see that. Everybody has their own, I guess, output on what emotion they want to actually output. Because like some people would cry deeply on the inside but act all tough on the outside. But yeah. Easily hurt. Bullshit. Cancerians can lash out Cancerians can lash out or become emotionally manipulative, but as a defensive posture when in a state of stress or anxiety. I don't know about that one. Not like at all. Most of the people I know would just basically say like, nope, if it's done, if we break up, it's over. Like there's nothing else much to say. But then again, if it's just like, stress is really getting out to me, and they kind of like, I don't know, they don't really get hurt. They kind of just like process it and then kind of just move on. Negative traits. Emotions often take precedence over rational sense. Not at all. Cancerians can be deeply partisan, closing ranks when challenged by unfamiliar situations. Again, not at all. Sea creature, reflecting its ruler, the moon. There is a tidal quality to this sign. Tidal quality. Energy levels and emotions states the wax and wane. So, like the phases of the moon. Caring. Sensitive and capable of genuine empathy. No. Cancerians thrive in the healing and caring professions. Actually, sounds like just one of my friends. And I don't think they're a Cancer. I'll have to get back to that, see what that's all about. But I doubt it. All right, so now we're on the moon. I don't think we went over this. Yeah, no, it just rules over Cancer. So this is actually a pretty awesome image. I'm actually attached to the moon. Like, it's pretty cool. That's the moon. A lot of good images. The only thing they're missing here is a wolf. But no, I like the moon. It's like, there's so many interesting things about it. Like, one, just like, if you ever go on the moon, eventually humans might again. Right now, it's just like small pods of people, but, like colonize it or something. I don't know. Eventually. The moon is instinct and protection. I feel like I have a lot of that, but we'll see what, I guess, this also relates to Cancer. So the symbol of the moon shows the waxing crescent. Well, it doesn't all the time, but, whatever. Reminding us that the moon reflects light from the sun. This is absolutely true. In the chart, it takes a less prominent role. Wait, what? Yeah, it takes a chart in the less prominent role in our conscious awareness than our solar goals. So it's basically like a backside, like a seat driver. Physical, emotional, instinct, familiarity, maternal, feed, nurture, intuition, cynical, feminine, nature, rhythms and rituals, and security. All traits of the moon. For the most part, I kind of agree. For the most part, I think the only one I kind of don't see is rhythms. But I guess I could when it's like a repetitive rhythm, because the moon, and it's lunar phases. Not sure about security either. Don't know about that. Everything else seems pretty, at least on point. For me. Do I know what I'm talking about? Probably not. It's just something that I guess my spiritual energy feels. I don't know. The moon in the sky. There is something magical about watching the moon cycles in the sky. Absolutely true. It's just fascinating. A few days after the new moon, she appears as a slim crescent and then waxes until the moon and then waxes at full moon. We see the entire shining disk before she wans into darkness again. So like a waxing and a waning moon. The moon cycle has been charted in triple form as maiden, mother, and crone. I think I know that one. It's basically same thing as like a mother. They're just watching over us and stuff. But I forget exactly what it means. And as the three fates of Greek and Norse myth. Yeah, there you go. It is linked astrologically to the menstrual cycle. It is not. Conception and birth to the mothering, feeding, and nurturing. Okay, it is not. Connected to the ocean and to water, ships, harbors, rivers, and so on, the gravitational pull of the moon generates the tides, and its phases coincide with natural and biological rhythms. In the human body, for instance, the moon governs atomic processes. Okay, whatever. We're not getting too deep into that. When it comes to like an actual menstrual cycle, it's completely different than what the fuck the moon actually has any effect on you. Nothing at all. That's, if anything, that's the one thing science can't explain, which is coincidence. That's just a coincidence. Nothing more. I don't care how people like read it, if anything. Or yeah. For Cancer, what the moon says, your primary concern is security. Yeah, for the most part, I guess. Yeah. There is a deep instinct to nurture and protect yourself and others, feeling wax and wan, but are powerful. I feel like a lot of us would defend not just ourselves, but everyone. We will have the chance to defend somebody. No, don't get me wrong. Not everybody's like that. Most people would act out of instinct and just protect themselves. Uh, and there's nothing wrong with that, especially if it's like, I don't know, a natural disaster or something. Some of us would just want to just protect ourselves. Some of us would want to protect others. There's no winning in that scenario. Well, I guess there is, but there's no. I want to say fault. There's no shame in that scenario. You only did what you could. Governing influences. Early in the childhood, the moon is often the governing influence before the awareness of solar individuality, and personal will begins to take hold. Okay, so basically your own personal gain, your own personal stuff. That's what you're trying to do. Instinct. The moon reflects our instinctive reactions and responses, the ingrained habits and behavioral patterns we develop to ensure our survival. It doesn't develop shit, but sure. I don't see anything technically wrong with that on a spiritual level, but everything else is wrong. But just on a spiritual level, it could be correct, and I say could, not is, because it's to each person's individual interpretation. Intuition. Here, you will respond according to your feelings and intuition. The sun symbolizes the lifelong journey of heroic self-discovery, but the moon tells us what we are by nature and instinct. Okay. I thought the sun was supposed to be like the lifeness of, of everything. Like to give life. Well, I guess not here. It's heroic self-discovery and everything. It tells us nature, our instincts. Yeah, the balancing of the lunar and solar drives will thus be a major consideration for most of us. Balance is always a key. Balance is always good for just life in general. You don't want to lean too much to one side. My God, I sound like Thanos. But he's not wrong. You just get off balance and you start losing yourself. You start focusing on just one thing rather than trying to open your eyes to another thing. Nurturing. The moon can describe our relationship to our mother or anyone who plays a mothering role. At heart, it shows what nurturing means to us, and the complex feelings we have around this will inform the relationships we create with anyone who takes care of us. It also describes how we offer nurturing to others. Well, it doesn't describe anything, like whatsoever. But I do agree with when it comes to a mothering figure, you do see that as more caretaker and more nurturing wise. So that part I'm not too upset about. Self-care. Food comes under the moon. Well, okay, no, not one bit. Food comes from, the earth itself. But it shows how we feed ourselves both literally and metaphorically. No, it does not. Not literally, just metaphorically. Reaching out for what makes us feel fed and satisfied. Eating habits often act as a barometer for deeper feelings. No. Complete disagree with that. Only metaphorically, not literally. Relationships. Close contact with partners will evoke the lunar side of us sooner or later. The moon shows what feels right to us, and a clash of lunar styles can make or break a relationship. The moon connects you to your tribe, drawing you to people and places where you feel at home. I mean, not the worst thing. I don't think I did this with the Geminis. No, I think I did. But anyway, back to the sun for Cancer. Your gift might be to nurture a family or bonded network of people, bringing out your gift as a protective caretaker. Okay, that I can somewhat see. Not during the sun or anything of the cycles of the sun, but just as trying to be caretaker. For Mercury, And Cancer. You probably have a retentive memory, absorbing information intuitively. There may be an interest in history. Uh, that is all opinionated. And although I will say that kind of annoyed me a little bit, is that I do know that most of my Cancer friends, I found one thing, I guess, do like history. They do like the concept of history, and they actually grant that information. This is a placement high, Venus. This is a placement high in sentiment and feeling, creating strong emotional bonds. Your friendship goals, your friendship group might feel like family. I feel like this reminds me of a different person that I know. However, it's not. They're not whatsoever. What are we on? They're not whatsoever a Cancer. For Mars, you see your job as protecting those you love, and you will fight valiantly on their behalf. You tend to take an indirect route to get what you want. I like the ending of that for most Cancers that I know. But yeah, I feel like no. I think that one's a good one. That one's a good one in general. They will fight. They'll fight for what they want to protect. But they don't really give into the emotion unless it becomes extremely. No. Even then, I've only seen one person. Anyway, Jupiter. Joy comes from the feeling. Joy comes from feeling safe in your group, held together by a genuine or generous caretaking. Faith is likely to rest on principles of tradition. So far, this Cancer seems very generous, very like family orientated or friend orientated. They just like this group. They don't want any harm to come to that group. It sounds like, actually, I'm going to put the poster up now. And it sounds like this kid right here, for Cancer wise at least. Dumbass. Anyway, for Saturn, this suggests a strong sense of duty and responsibility in you toward anyone or anything placed in your care. Yep, still sounds like that one kid. All right. For Uranus, family life evolves to absorb changes brought about by war. Wow. Post-war program to rebuild houses and communities. Neptune. Art. How do you say that word? Novia? All right. Well, I can't read. Is inspired by curved forms of nature. Dissolution of old European and Asian empires and territories. This seems more like knowledge and arts. Like art history kind of a thing. Pluto. A planet. World War I brings threats to the home and homeland. Deep changes in family, life, and the role of women in society. That's just like a nice little piece of history, I guess. Chiron. That's what it was. Chiron. There may be feeling for you not belonging. Perhaps you were adopted or separated from family. Wow. After all that, you might be adopted. That kind of sucks, though. Just imagine you fighting for that. But then again, you're trying to fight for what is your family, what you believe is your family. Because sometimes blood might not be the way to go. First house, self and personality. Let's see what Cancer has for us. Your first instinct might be to protect yourselves and others, to establish your territory. A good approach might be to trust your instincts and act accordingly. Trust your instincts. It's always good to trust your instincts. Well, mostly good to trust your instincts. Mostly. Second house, possessions, money, and finance. Cancer. You might feel a need to guard possessions as well as sensitivity towards the ebb and flow of income. I could see that, and honestly, that's actually a pretty good thing. But you can also be resourceful resourceful around personal finances. Honestly, when it comes to personal finances, a lot of people should take that into consideration because you could end up completely broke. after not, having money, or you think you don't have money, or spending money on unnecessary things. Third house, communication. You probably choose nonverbal forms of communication, like pointing, like flipping people off, like, I don't know, make eye contact, like that. Actually, no, I can see that for the cancers that I know, which can better convey sentiment. No. You may feel protective towards siblings. I feel like any older sibling is kind of like that, because I'm like that as well. You always feel protective in that sense. Home and family. Cancer makes the fourth house into its cozy nest. So, for most cancers, it's home and family. I can see that. That one I can see. A place of security and protection. You can create this for your family and probably need it for yourself too. Definitely sounds like that one character. Creativity and children. At the end, this is just going to be like a giant anime, like, astrology chart, because so far the only people I've chosen were astrology or from anime. But we'll see if that continues, or if I want to keep that trend up. But anyway, creativity and children. Cancer. It might be your caretaking skills that give you a sense of pride, or the family you have created. A vacation by the ocean or in a place of retreat might suit you. I think I would like the ocean better. Most of the cancers I know hate the beach. They prefer, I want to say, out and about, like on a adventure, some kind of scenery, but like never the beach. They always want like rocks or like the Grand Canyon, but they just want adventure. That's all I can like best describe it. Health and well-being. Workmates might feel like family, not to any of the cases I know. And it is important for you to feel emotionally in tune with them, not to any of the cancers I know. Perhaps you take a motherly role at work, which involves caretaking. See, every one of the cancers that I know always talk shit about their coworkers, and then when they actually are working with them, they kind of just like dish them aside and just do their own thing. Most of the ones I know. Half of them do end up like, talking to each other, but I feel like that's most coworkers in general. But when it comes to like a protective state with them, not really, no. Relationships. Cancer. Relationships bring out the most or the more sentimental side than your Capricorn persona innocently suggests. Fucking Capricorn. Wanting to create a family and a safe nest that might determine your choice of partner. Once again, it's just very, very downside. It's just like one person. Like you're only talking to one person. Or not person. What's it called? You're only in it for one person, I guess, when it comes to relationships. And you want to make them feel as like safe as possible. However, I don't know about that little. Sorry, I'm just like going back and going with it because Capricorn kind of threw me off. We're not even there yet. I think on this list, actually, Capricorn is closer to the end. Anyway, intimacy and shared possessions. You might protect your private world extremely closely and be very in touch with emotional undercurrents. Yeah, emotional undercurrents, which can make a profound impression on you. Most of the cancers I know don't give two shits. They do care about their personal stuff. Like about half of them do. They're like, hey, don't go, I don't know, through my stuff, or you can't like go anything through on my phone. But everything else, they don't really give to, like, no, they don't. Some of them, they don't even care about their phone. They're like, it felt like, oh, somebody will find this, but whatever. Intimate, undercomes which will profound impressions on you, and they don't really care about other people's emotions. They don't see that as like a necessary thing that they should, go after. If they're crying their ball, like their what's it called, their eyes out, then yeah, they might go, and talk to them, but not really, no, like very little. Very little chance of that happening. Quest and adventure. Cancer, the rhythms and rituals for foreign cultures might be of your interests. That part is true, but personally, I also like that. I like to learn about other people's cultures and backstories. You can take an intuitive approach to higher education, studying what you feel emotionally connected to. Most of the cancers do not. Most of the cancers don't give a fuck. Career and vocation. A job involving nurturing and caretaking might suit you. No, not in the bit. Not in the slightest bit. If anything, I don't know why this one actually feels more targeted than the last one for Geminis. I feel like they didn't really do or know anything too much about Geminis. Here they think they know everything about Cancer, but so far I can't really see that. When you can be part of a professional family, you rise to the top by using intuition and instinct. I mean, I can see the rising part. Everything else, not really. Friendship and community. The 11th house. Cancer. For you, friends might feel like family. You gravitate towards the safety of the tribe. Some of my coworkers do feel like family. Some of them, not all of them. It's not a bad thing either, because people do move on, and that's just one thing you got to do in like the job life in general is move on. You'll always still be friends. Like if you left on good notes, you'll still be friends. Like hit them up every like 2-3 years, if anything. My brother doesn't do that whatsoever, and he is a Cancer. Towards the safety of the tribe, yeah. Your ideals might reflect this as a belief that society should provide support and nurturing. I do agree that society should provide more support. We should all like be working together to actually be better. We're not. We're definitely not. Like we are to an extent, but the fact that some people are getting upset about it, about caring, that's already why we're not. Service and sacrifice, the 12th house. Your role behind the scenes might be as a nurse or caretaker, looking after who are unable to look after themselves. I feel like I do that a lot. The perfect sanctuary might be your own home. Well, for my case, it kind of is. Kind of. But definitely not for others. For a lot of Cancers, the way I see it is that their home is wherever they fall asleep. Eventually, we'll get to the rest of this. This one was actually pretty straightforward. Because I can think of a character that is like this almost instantly. And it's this person once again. So, that is that for this episode. That is it for this episode. This one was actually pretty quick for Cancer. Still don't know how any of this works whatsoever. And I know it's not going to. I'm going to try to make it my best to understand. It's not going to work out. I already know that. But we tried. I can say that I actually tried, and I actually know what some astrological signs mean and like their behaviors. Obviously, this is just one out of 1,000 books, but for the most part, this will, I guess, educate me a little bit, and then I can find out other books and stuff. We'll see, though. All right. Until the next video. See you later, guys.